Driune, Santana, and Lynn, when I tell you I am in here with a legend and a friend of Women's Wrestling Talk, Miss Gail Kim is in here with us. How are you doing, Gail?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Of
I'm so
course.
excited.
Of course. I remember the last time we interviewed you, it was right before Slammiversary. And we
Yes.
talked about the Queen of the Mountain match and everything like that and try to see if you was gonna be on Masha's kill wall, but
Yeah.
it wasn't happening. That was not happening at all whatsoever.
That Queen of the Mountain match turned out to be awesome, by
It
the
was
way, now that we're
amazing.
talking about that. So
It was
that was
amazing. Definitely enjoyed seeing it in person. But what I enjoyed seeing in person was Hard to Kill. We were there
yes.
in Atlanta over the weekend, and I mean, it was an amazing pay per view from beginning to end. I mean, women main eventing Hard to Kill
Yes.
once again and include Hardcore Country Mickie James. I mean,
Second time for Mickie.
second time. Right
Main
now,
event.
she is definitely that's the name of the pay per view. She is definitely
Yeah.
hard to kill.
Yes, definitely. Right?
So if you could choose, what would you say was like your favorite match of the night? Like what match had you like on the edge of your seat?
I mean, honestly, I will say overall, for
Hmm.
some reason, the Impact Wrestling crew has been killing it
They
from
have.
last year, even. I felt like we really delivered on every pay-per-view last year, and Hard to Kill was no exception for beginning 2023 this way. The fans in Atlanta, number one, I have to say, always turn up and out. They're always amazing, so loud. And but you know what, and
Mhm.
I'm not just saying it because it's the knockins, but Mickie and Jordan really delivered. And not just that, not only did they deliver on the main event, it was just
Mhm.
emotionally, just that's the number one comment I heard from fans across the board, was that they were so emotionally invested into that match. And really, no one really knew how that was going to turn out by the end of the night. And I, they delivered. I mean, in every way. And it was such a emotional night from beginning to end.
It
So
was very overwhelming. I would say I think the very much anticipation was for Mickey and Jordan because like the way that you guys had the story going was like
yeah.
you guys are giving Mickey video packages. She comes out with this amazing entrance, like paying tribute to her tribe and everything. It's
Yeah.
like, are y'all trying to say this is it? Yeah.
I actually
Are
had
we playing right now?
yeah, I actually had some of the biggest women's wrestling fans text me after the
Mhm.
show the next morning, and people who do shows like you as well, and they're like, we really didn't know what was going to happen. We're all talking amongst our group, and we're like, Lisa's crying, that means Mickey's going to retire. And so I'm glad we kept everyone on the edge of their seat. Impact Wrestling has done a really great job of storylines, and the talent just have been delivering all across the board, from X Division to our world champion to our tag teams. I'm just really proud of this roster right now.
And if you're not a fan of Impact Wrestling, then I don't know what to tell you because they have been doing such an amazing job for a
Yeah.
very, very long time.
And
Um,
just coming off the heels of Hard to Kill now, we're going straight into Orlando this week and
mhm.
filming a bunch of shows this weekend. So everyone has to come out and see what the fallout for Hard to Kill is this weekend in Orlando.
Yeah.
Friday night, Saturday night, 20th and 21st, impactwrestling.com. You can get your tickets now.
If you haven't gotten, you better because Impact got a lot of things going on, you guys. And if you don't know
Yeah.
about it, you definitely are missing out. But speaking of Tara and Raven showing up to support Mickie James, I
Yeah.
mean, talk about your current relationship with Mickie James. I know you guys were like big rivals back in the time when you were,
Yeah.
killing it in the ring. I know
Yeah.
she stated that she did ask if you would, give her a match, but you've already said you're not coming out of retirement.
This is the thing. Mickie and I have known each other. I mean, I knew her when she was Alexis Lurie, I mean, the indies, when she started out before she started her first run at TNA, that some people may not even know about because they might have just picked her up from, WWE on or whatever it was. But, Mickie started out in the indies, then came to TNA and was part of that, and has seen and been a part of every company pretty much.
Yeah.
I have nothing but the utmost respect for this woman, and to see her over the course of the 20 years that I've been part of this business has been incredible, and also to see her accomplish things that we both have kind of in common, supporting women's wrestling, doing, Empower. For me to be a part of Empower as well was such an honor. And for her to, we're all kind of thinking the same thing. Let's have an all women show. Let's have an all women show. And I'm just so happy that she did it and that I got to be a part of it. And that was a killer night. And I think that, who knows what's going to be in the next phase of Mickie James's career. I mean, she's not done yet. Obviously, the rodeo's not over. So whether she wants to keep on wrestling, whether she wants to do anything beyond that and helping women's wrestling behind the scenes, I see success for her in every which way. So, for me, she mentioned that one night. She's like, "What are you coming out of?" And listen, I would do anything for Mickie. I go, Mickie, if you really wanted me to, I would do that because that's how much I respect her. And but we've had many matches together, from botch fest to killer matches. So I would do that for her if she wanted to. And of course, I get froggy every once in a while, and I miss it. So if there was some dream opponent out there, you just never say never. But I could be convinced, but a lot of things have to be in line. Right. So the right opponent, the right moment, the right storyline, everything. So, yeah.
Well, listen, I'm definitely will be in tune to see you getting back in that ring. You did
I would like to see, what would be amazing? Some super show of joint talent.
Yeah.
And I would do a multi-woman match there, like a 3-way, a 4-way with like the best of the best, like Stardom, Impact, everyone, whoever wanted to be involved, that would be amazing.
Well, if you listen, when you guys hear this, you better hit up Gail because we're gonna try to make that happen real soon.
Let's see what the fans would want to see. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Impact, of course, with the huge loss of Don West, I mean, you guys did pay tribute to him. I have to ask, like, what would you say is like some amazing moments you may have shared with him?
Oh, wow. You know what? Mostly it's just the general feeling. I think everyone that worked with Don West, it's a collective, unanimous memory of Don being so positive, so energetic. Like, if you remember his energy, it was just so high. What you heard him commentating, that was his energy backstage all the time. And he was just a positive guy. I don't remember any negative thing coming out of his mouth. And in wrestling, that's in the world, in society, you're always going to hear complaining. And I don't have a memory of anything negative coming out of Don's mouth. And that's a really rare thing. And he was truly just so special. His voice is now, we really appreciated it back then, but especially now in hindsight, it was one of the hard ones to deal with, because we do deal with a lot of death, or people passing away over the years in terms of, talent we used to work with. And this one hit hard for a lot of us because he was just so loved and, just a huge part of our history, So.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I remember like back in TNA wise, I was a lot like a child maybe.
Yeah.
Like, hearing his voice, it always makes you feel excited. Like you feel like you were there even though you was watching on TV and stuff. So
and then Mickie, they were the voices.
So we go over into the knockouts division. In your opinion, in regards to women's wrestling, what would you say is like the biggest factor in the evolution of women's wrestling from when you started all the way up until like now?
Oh, wow. What do you mean in terms of biggest factor for the success?
Yeah.
I think really it is just the companies in terms of who the leadership is and giving the women the opportunity. Because listen, without the opportunity, we can't perform and let the fans see what we're capable of. That's pretty much all the fight and the struggle from what I remember back then was just begging for the opportunity, for the time, and now it's like you just said, hard to kill. We main evented the women main evented again, and for the fans and the company to believe in the women to be able to deliver on that level, it just means the world. And when I started wrestling, I was inspired by this small group of whatever 8 women, and then our generation inspired another, and now you see the amount of women that are wrestling now is incredible. And it's just, there's so much talent to choose from. It wasn't like that back then. I was trying to work the indies and try to find another girl to wrestle with, and it was just, that's why me and Tracy Brooks were married to each other on the road, because there weren't not that many girls to wrestle with. Now you could wrestle with 20 other girls and go to a state and have that opportunity, but we didn't have those choices back then. So I think the companies believing in the women, giving them the opportunities, the women taking that ball and delivering and showing, okay, women are a draw. Women can capture the attention of the fans and keep it and get them emotionally involved, just like they were saying. That's the most important thing, I think, in wrestling, is really capturing the hearts of the audience and making them feel some type of emotional attachment to you in that match. And the fact that was the comment coming out of everyone's mouth at the end of that pay-per-view, I think we hit a home run. Yeah.
You guys definitely did. There were some people that I did see like shedding tears in the audience, so I was like, oh my goodness. I need to be focused now, right? We gotta focus right now.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to see what's to come after this, So we'll see what happens this weekend in Orlando.
I feel like there's something big things happening. Speaking of big things, like what would you say for this year, with 2023 on the horizon starting? What would you say was like the next big step for the Knockouts division? What is something that you're wanting to see happen?
I love the trajectory that we're on. I think the company does an amazing thing in terms of using all the women in some type of role. That we have multiple matches, so I like that to just keep on going in that direction. The main 2 things is that I want to grow the tag team division. I think that's where we can use a little bit more work and create more opportunities for some talented women out there that, that I'm saying that there's just so much out there. And we're constantly looking at new talent and to add to our roster. And I think we're going to do that, in the next, you'll see. Hopefully we're just going to look to cement our even, making our division even stronger than what it is. And I would say my next main goal is to have that superstar joint Knockouts pay-per-view. I would love an all-women's pay-per-view again. I think the fans lately have been asking for it, and I want to do something cool, something different.
Yeah, because I definitely enjoyed Knockouts Knockdown. It was really, really good. It was so, like, from beginning to end, it was absolutely amazing. You had some newcomers in there. You had some returns in there. It was absolutely amazing. I do hope you guys do another one.
Yeah, honestly. Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of hard work and a lot of team effort put into that, and just everything for Daphne and everything that we did for that. That pay-per-view is really special.
Yeah. Speaking of more like, getting ready to go on the road for like different shows and tapings and stuff like that. I know a lot of fans, they have questioned if you guys would ever, do live events again. Like, has there been conversations about that maybe happening in the near future again?
I mean, we are talking about doing them more internationally. That's basically the next step that we would love to go, because we used to go to the UK and do some tours, and we're talking about that before COVID. And then when COVID hit, it really shut things down. It felt like just kind of rebuilding all over again. But I feel like now we're in the swing of things, and these shows are being planned. And hopefully we'll get to see some more special shows in terms of maybe some joint ventures again. You never know. All women's pay-per-views, and hopefully some international tours, that because we've got some incredible UK fans over there and we never get to see them anymore. So love to see them.
Speaking of loving to see, you guys are going back to Canada for a Sacrifice. Yes. I mean, that's your neck of the woods and everything. Yeah. So talk about how exciting it is, because the Impact has not been back to Canada in like
for
a very long
years.
time. So I know that the excitement over there, and like it's being in your home tour, because there are
Yeah.
a few Canadians that's on the Impact roster. And I mean, I know you guys are gonna go all out for
Yes.
that. So talk about like what does it feel like going and taking Sacrifice over to Canada?
Yeah, so we're going to Sacrifice for Impact Plus app pay-per-views, which are, like I said, all our pay-per-views deliver. Going to Windsor, and Windsor has been one of our staple locations, as well as Toronto, where I'm from, Toronto. So the fans, they're incredible there. I mean, we have been itching. Once we heard we were coming back to Canada, the whole roster was just so ecstatic. Toronto is April. It's the Road to Rebellion. That's our next big pay-per-view. So that's going to be happening in Toronto as well. I think we just announced that as well. So yeah, our Canadian fans just, you know what? We just like to go see our international fans. We got to go back to Mexico City because we were there for a while. And, you know, that I love performing in front of all these different international fans because they're all kind of a little different. You know, if you go perform in front of a Japanese crowd, they're very different culture. And Canada's similar to America. So, but they're just hyped because they haven't seen us for so long. So, hey, we just like to spread a little bit of Impact Wrestling love everywhere. So
I know. I love that you guys are, going, international with a lot of your things, because, a lot of fans don't get to see, Impact unless they have the app or unless they have the network to be able to get it. So, and a lot of times, like on social media, there's always like a negative connotation when it comes to Impact. Like I know you may see it. What are your thoughts on it? Like with people saying like some negative things about Impact, not, being this big company, and people who go there, it is a downgrade. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's interesting because I think the main complaint is that they're trying to find us, right? So you can find us on YouTube, you can find us on Access TV. We have many other platforms that you can watch on different streaming platforms. But I promise everyone, I think that they have this idea of what Impact Wrestling is from the past, and they're judging us from the past. And I just say, hey, give us a chance, because if you just watch us one time, you're going to see that we're not the same company. And I think we're doing such an incredible job in terms of storytelling, characters. I think we're the most consistent in terms of that, in terms of storytelling, characters, developing characters and wrestlers. And if you talk to any of the talent, in terms of who's part of our company, everyone is truly just thriving, happy, and that translates to what you see on our show and the way that they perform. And, I think we've turned it around, actually, because we did have this, I don't want to call it a stink, but it was, I guess, for years in terms of what people thought we were. And the most positive thing I'm seeing out of this is that people, I would say I see mostly positive. And I think the only complaint is about finding us. And, I think it's just about making that effort. I think that they can, and they'll see that they'll love the product for sure.
Definitely. I definitely agree, because Impact has been doing such an amazing job with their roster, the storytelling, everything about it, the live shows. I mean, going there to the pay-per-views or being a part of the tapings, everybody is so welcoming.
Yeah.
Like everybody makes you feel like you are a part of the crew, So.
I will say I think we do a really good job at giving everyone a very interactive experience too. If you come to our shows, we do the pre-show meet and greets, the post-show meet and greets. We do a lot of platinum packages where people can take pictures with champions, and we just like to be very involved and hands-on with our fans, and know that, we are a very interactive, hands-on company, and we're here for the fans.
Of course. Well, Miss Gail, I thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy schedule to speak with me over here. Of course, we do support all things women's wrestling, and we definitely have a special heart for the Knockouts division, because you guys show us so much love, and we definitely continue to show you guys love as well. So thank you so much for speaking with me here.
Appreciate you so much. Thank